So, I'm finding myself just obviously mentally, obviously, just be manipulated and forced to perceive things in so many illogical ways. This technology obviously is a technology that can override your thought. This is obviously a government-led program that experiment on people and force them to think in certain ways and create this ways of thinking that's illogical, manipulative, and falsified in so many ways. I mean, throughout today, as I know, my brain is completely ravaged by them in so many ways. First of all, physically fatigued. I know my organs are just kind of breaking down. They're using this directed energy, which is the DARPA weaponry, or DARPA is developing, or continue to develop. So I understand that these people are not just like a group of like, they use this facade. As you can see, this guy, right? He's one of many, but there's a group of other people. Unfortunately, they don't like to take picture. They don't want to be seen because the facade is going to be too much. It's going to be too obvious. There's a mistake when you're not seen. There's not a mistake, but I would say that you can create a facade. But when you see who's talking, you realize how obvious this is BS. It's so obvious that you see. Look at these people. First of all, I mean, at least this guy shows wants to, he has it's okay to has been brave enough to show how obvious this facade is. Now, if you see some other people there, it's another level. With me, they've been trying to play this group of women that protecting their and they act like all passionate and like not even passionate, but just like they're just like so radical and they're doing this. And it's just so full of BS. I mean, the level of mind trickery they have to create to come up with this. They were making me think of these things. They were trying to put together. They come up with the reality of fantasies, and then you see who's talking. It's like obviously you guys are BS. Me, I'm not letting them live that fantasy. So what's gonna happen to me? Everything that can be extreme is gonna be applied onto me because they wanted to live this fantasy where they're using their money with their budget, with their organizations, and they're protecting the women. And they're avenging like this BS things. That I'm not letting them live the fantasy. And when you see this trash try to make themselves all like radical and everything, you realize that they're just BS. Look at you. Do you think I ever believe these things? And on top of that, I know there's a bunch of women being tortured by low life, calling out the fact that there's a lot of females, and you see what these trash are, just weak, low life trash that just want to live in the little fantasy, in the little bubble. You know how many women are being fried up by this director energy? These trash are doing this. But you look at them, they go into the la la land in their fantasy. You see these bottom feeders, they came and speak about Roy Moore, pedophile that picked up kids. You say, this is your money? Of course, I see you for what you are. And they try, in my mind, they can create so much perception. There's this trash living next door. This little nothing weird. And I remember seeing her. I regret not taking a picture of her. Just tiny little nothingness. And I see her. I look at her. She's trying to be all dramatic, looking for something in her backpack, as if she was like, "Oh God, stop, stop! Don't even play yourself like that." And now in my mind, it's like you see, she was just so passionate about what you've done. She's here to protect. I was like, please, you want to listen to what you guys do to women? The horribleness? Or what happened there? What all this radicalness happened? Like what? It's not fair, huh? That her genitals being fried by the dark energies? Which you're part of this program that does that? You trash ass. These people want to live their little la la land fantasy. I will never let them live this. They are so fraudulent and trash, and I know they can do that to women and go into the la la land fantasies. I know because women have said that before. They literally call it, why is there so many females doing this? They know this. They're part of that. But they thought that somehow I was going to block out this fact and I'm going to look at them because you see how angry they get. Somehow they don't get angry when you hear this torture about this woman. They're like, oh, what you did to this. Oh, trash. What you guys are, the horrible storyline, the horrible things you hear about these testimonies. And you are here whispering, and you were trash. We did. No, you're nothing. You're just the bottom feeders the government uses. And I know you can do that to women. And I know some of you who are doing this to me. If not, a lot of you have done that to women. But you think I'm going to let you escape from that? Nope. You're trash, low life. I want to see these people and take a picture of them and see them for what they are, not this fantasy in my mind, because this trash. I don't know how like they look like barely adult, if adult, if not like just nothingness. You look at them, try to be like, "Ah, look at me." They mixing this new falsification of radicalness that we see now, right? The new age, the new style of like being radical when it's fraudulent. But this is has been ongoing forever. They try to be like, no, now we're different. Sure, please. I'm thankful that I can say Roy more than they can't, or when they say it in a very timid way. What happened to your radicalness? It's your money, right? Say it's your world, right? I know what you guys do to women. I know what nasty, and you try to believe this little fantasy while in and day out you create this narrations and manipulation of my mind and call it war. Look at you. You think you're in war? You're in a human experimentation. I'm a subject, and you want to do it to make yourself believe you're doing it for what I did. Oh my gosh, when you're in a program that's out here frying, killing, nasty. I'm not, and I wish I could take a picture of these people. They know I'm like they're not scared of me. I'm never gonna want to attack them or aggress them. No, well, I'm actually let me be honest. There's times where I would, they would try to annoy me, and I got angry to that point. But now it's more like I just want to take a picture of you. I just want to see you for what you are. That's it. Go talk, go do your things. You're trash. One thing I used to praise that God, please don't let me get my hands dirty on these people. They're just bottom feeders. It will make me feel so small and nothing. They're just so nothing. If I ever get stooped to that low, I will hate myself. Now let them be the trash. I just want to take a picture of them and show them for what they are. You know how the blogger, oh, they're gonna wait for you, they're gonna torture you. It's like, yes, I'd rather be tortured, but thank God I didn't have to live your fucking sorry, your facade in a group that is out here killing and doing horrible things to even the babies. Can't even speak about Roy Moore. You're trash. I know. Your bottom feeder, they're empowered. And now I can hear them try to counter what I'm trying to say right now. When I have these moments, they have ways to try to counter it. They start using this tone of voices where they try to sound mystic. For you see them, you're like, there's nothing mystic for about these people. Look at this bottom feeder, and they're like, oh, they'll fire you. They'll it's like try to disorient me when I say things that they don't want to hear. They call it being a war. War for them is just create a facade, a reality they put together. It's not really war, because in a war, there's winning, losing. There's not none of that. I'm gonna be whatever's gonna happen to me is gonna happen to me, and it's not a war. But you hear these people try their war is like they're gonna believe us. Like, please, everybody knows. I mean, listen, it's I don't think people are like, oh, these people are protecting, protecting the community. Yeah, they know they're part of the program that does this. These people, they know that I'm the target. There's many others. They just want to create their fantasies. Like, we are war. This is war, and we are war. You're not at war. You work for the government. You do these things to civilians, and your trash ass wants to come up with your little fantasy. You're a loser, a trash, for even calling it war. You're calling it a war because it's war with reality. I'd rather die slow than do what you do. And these people try to block it, counter the reality. Oh, you molest. I was like, please. I'm talking to people who torture people in different nasty ways, sexual ways, including babies and kids of all ages. Sexual torturing 7-year-old, 4-year old, 5-year old. I missed. They like to say, oh, wow, because they think that I'm trying to reach them. I'm trying to get to them. I'm not trying to get to you. I just don't want you to live your fantasy. I'm not trying to make you feel sorry for me. No, you think this is what I'm doing? No. To all my target individuals, do not even try. These people, I'm not. These people should not be people you try to make feel. But like, I don't care how you feel about me. I just want you to know what you're part of. You're not gonna live that fantasy. You guys work for people who do horrible things to children, sexual things. You talk about molesting. Well, are you talking about what you guys do to women and how you rape them till they can't walk? Oh, you want to talk about the babies then? When you suffocate them, you think they want to live this little fantasy, and they try to. And for me, like sometimes they try to talk about me as a child. I'm like, oh my gosh. When you hear a 3-year-old kid who's hurting sexually, meaning not sexually, but hurting in a sexual part, meaning that they do something to his testicles or whatever. And you hear this woman, whatever she is, and no, no, you're molesting. It's like, you want to, you look at them, it's like you are just a trash, coward, low life. You try to disorient me from saying the things you don't want to hear. You guys actually molest and torture children. No fantasy land. What you really do, try to create their little la la land. And this is why I want to take picture of them when they try to come up with their fantasy. No, no, with me. I know they want to act accordingly. They want to paint this picture so much that they act a certain way. They make themselves angry, like they're. It's like no, 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 no. Wanna know what you guys do to kids? Or you want to talk about me as a child? Oh no, 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 no. Not coming from people who are literally torturing babies. No, no, no people who is in a program that torture kids sexually. You crazy? You think I'm gonna let you leave your fantasy because you act so? Oh, like, like the acting is just the most disgusting ways. They really have triggered themselves to think in this way. Oh, you don't. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, whatever, huh? And they try to oh, there he is. So they try to use the different tone. You're just a bottom feeder work from pedophiles. This article came out. CIA agent doing things to 2 year old and 6 year old. You're nothing. You look at the something that you are. This is what you do. You can't even speak about a pedophile that picked up kids and did things to kids. I can say his name properly without trying to be timid about it. Roy Moore. Can you tell me? No, you're gonna tell me Rod Moore because you know better. You see reality. So when you act that way, whatever, no, not with me. Understand what I'm saying is not gonna change what's gonna happen to me. I know this very well. I know my torture is not even just torture now. It's gonna be fear. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's for block out the reality. It's for it's just to let them believe that this you know we're gonna scream. It's gonna be our pain. You can't even speak. You can't say Roy Moore, and I don't know what you guys do to children and women. So I understand in your rationality, you want to create a thing where you just like you're gonna be like we're torturing him. With God, look at what we do to him. It's like you do this to kids too. Are you gonna go extra because I'm bringing that up over and over and over? Most likely. And on top of that, I'm saying Roy Moore freely. And you know what they say? Oh, you're gonna lose your teeth. You know they decay teeth even to kids. This is the systematic things they do to people. I know teeth are decaying, organs are being destroyed, bones soften, brain. Oh my gosh, who knows what's going on in my brain? Eyes, who knows? Like skull, your whole skull, your whole skeleton is your whole structure is just changed, change into something else. They deform you. But do you think I think all these people have great technology? Wow, this group of strong radical whatever they want have come. No, I know this is technology that been developing for years, and I'm a subject of that. But there's many others that is experimenting on. These people doing this to me will be doing this to other people, including women and children. This is human experimentation. But these people here are trying to come up with like a way to block out the reality of what they're part of and come up with their little fantasy and want me to subscribe to these nasty things, which I've never subscribed to. I understand they do that to others, people much more vulnerable than me. And they use this trash that want to act as accordingly. That's why I want to take a picture of them. Just like, look at this. You know why she's acting like this? Because she knows what she's actually part of. And she wants me to go into the La La Land fantasy that they've created. When reality is that you're part of this program that does horrible things to women and children. You do this pedophile type of torture, renowned for these things. You talk about your teen, there's a woman who say they use teenagers to do these nasty things to her and force her to think in this disgusting way. So even what you do to me, it's been said before. But you're gonna act your way to make me believe. I understand. They don't even acting. They have believed this manipulate this persona. They it's like they completely have like turn into like the character that they put together. Can look at you and go. I'm like, no, I just want to take a picture. I just wanted to look at you. Look at this trash, trash. You know, how many women you think I'm being destroyed and tormented this way? The same way it's pitiful. You have trash like you're living, just looking. Yeah, you can't even say Roy Moore trash. I know you do the stimulations. I know. Even women, grown ass women with children, you hear all of a sudden force them to be trash ass. And you hear these people, they're raping. I'd rather get raped. You know what trash you are. You wanted to live these things. So, oh, we dared. No, you're just trash. You know, there's so many trash like you. They wanted to come up with their fantasies. And they were right now trying to make me, oh, you bastard, you want little poo trash. Whatever, do manipulation you want. You nasty low lives. I hate these fantasies they've put together. I don't hate them, they're trash. But they want me to leave this fantasy. That's what they don't like to be seen. They leave, the perception that this trash next door I keeps talking about. Let me see. They have the ability to create perception in your mind. And the worst part is when they try to force perceptions of certain levels and try to make you look at it. You've seen them like they have the same body type as myself. I like listen, I don't want to body shame anybody, right? But the way they can create perception in your mind is incredible. It takes very little and they make you create and you see you take a picture of these people and you try to create this perception. Look at that. We have the same body type. I have as much voluptuousness that you have, and also, but if I do like a quick blur view of you, oh my gosh, they leave off whatever creation they can, and they try to make it. Oh, you're attractive, huh? You're trash. And they're like you can bum. Okay, yes, you do these things. You make people homeless. Yes, just like you've manipulated the perceptions. Yes, part of the protocol. You torture women. Matter of fact, there's this woman, and many of them have places to live, but decide to live outside, live in their car, move away from a nice, comfortable house because what happens to them? They're trash, and I will never let them live their fantasy. This next door neighbors, this whoever it is, this is gonna go everywhere. But I hate when they try to create their fantasy. When they try to come up with their, like and they act accordingly. Ugh. And they try to make themselves like warrior like. I'm like, oh, you know how you just gotta be shameless. There's nothing warrior like. No, not even courage is needed. Matter of fact, it's the opposite. You have to have the courage to be a coward. That you never like. You have to be the most courageous coward, meaning that it takes courage to be this level of cowardness. Like they have to take the level of the to be this cowardly. You have to be courageous. That's the level of like you have to be like you have to swallow your pride to a level that it takes courageous. You have to be courageous enough to be swallowing that level of like of your pride. You have that level of cowardness takes courage. You understand? And they're like, that's what they use these childlike people. They then try to and come up with a little la la fantasy. I'm like, you are so delusional. If you think I ever subscribe to it, now understand that's your job. You can act according, right? And you hear them say a rapper because these kids or young, whatever they are, trying they force me to look at them and they can't even say Roy Moore. You see the level of courageous when it comes to cowardness they have to be, and they do that all the time. And they Robert, knowing that I'm gonna say, can you say Roy Moore? That it takes courage to be this cowardly, to be this embarrassing. And you hear them say, "Oh, you're nothing." People who can't speak about a pedophile called Roy Moore. Do you understand? And then they go into and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna get raped." Try to disorient you and change subject. Try to find some ways to feel better. I was like, I'd rather get raped than not be able to say a name like that. To live a coward life, that you live a trashy life. Can you imagine if this person lived this life and she kept saying, "Oh, you can't live this. You can't say Roy Moore." It's like, "Oh, you'll get raped." Ugh, trash. And they use these special people. I don't envy their life. I'm dying. I know that my body is breaking down. I can feel it. I don't care about death. Death comes to all of us. Like I said, to all my target visual, I'm not trying to put you down and make you feel bad. Please live life as long as you can survive and fight. But do not be afraid of death. Death is going to come to us regardless. But just live a dignified life in a sense that you do not subscribe to this. Do not subscribe to these manipulations and how they want you to believe who you are. All that, just don't know. This is honorable. You hear these people hiding away and try to counter reality. Can you imagine living their life? I have somebody say high school because they want to create this Roy Moore personality. I say Roy Moore on purpose because I know they can say it. You could be living that life. And these people, I don't know how old they are, but they don't sound like the most mature people. So imagine you start that young doing this things that you can come back from. Then you see this even grown woman like that is the worst. It's the saddest. No, this is I've shown this blur picture of this woman. You hear her talking like you're a grown ass woman doing this thing. Sorry for the language. You're a grown woman doing these things. Look at you. You think I'm gonna let you live your fantasy? How can I respect a woman that mature be involved in these things and try to dumb somebody down like that? Homeless? Okay, I'd rather be homeless than live like you. I'd rather die in the street than I'd rather starve myself. And like I have, and I'm not scared of death in any fashion as long as the indignity is what gets me. Imagine here like in the hallways I was out, and thankfully I have my surveillance camera that put things in perspective. You hear them using their children, making noise, and then forcing me to have these things. Maybe I can post that video and forcing you to have these disgusting things, and you hear these people, you're gonna get knocked out. It's like, okay, yes, knocked out. I told you, I know the theater. Now what I'm gonna pray for is God give me strength to be strong for the theater, meaning that they're gonna do the things that just for the purpose of presenting something, all kind of torture. These people need some kind of thing to help them feel better. Give me strength for that, but most importantly, thank you. I didn't have to live their life. This theater they're gonna see is gonna be an empty feeling at the end. But for me, it's gonna be painful. So God give me strength to deal with this theater. But for this trash, thank you, God, I didn't have to live their life. This bottom feeders, this trash. I'd rather be on the street starving myself to death than do what they do. Humiliating like that. And like I said, they know that there'll be a day when things will get rough for them. That's how life goes. They're gonna say, God, please help. No. You see, you're a God. So to all my target visual, when you see people like that or the people around you, understand they sold for things that it's gonna come back to them. I don't care too much about them. I blur them. But I do take picture of them and put